Hello everybody, welcome on into today's video. We are gonna have a quick little suss at the demo currently put out by Core Engage regarding their new title, New Cycle. I'm super excited about this game. I played it on stream the other night, had a whale of a time. I actually ended up going through and playing the demo again in its entirety yesterday. So I am replaying the demo, which is a good sign straight off the bat. So New Cycle is a post-apocalyptic city builder that has elements of Frostpunk and Endzone. You are going to see those in their UI, and I'm already loving this art style. Look at this, just this beautiful card layout system. Today we're going to be having a look at the meadow level. Home to open stretches of land and fertile soil, this biome transitions relatively smoothly between seasons. Though not overly challenging in terms of food and water, underground resources are somewhat scarce. So we get plus 40 morale at the start of spring. Oh, the transition, the music. One of the things that stands out to me about this game immediately is the music. Just keep your ears on it. Everything that you're hearing is music in the game. Let's have a look at what our community wants to tell us. We are going to be creating the next level of humanity, and we're going to be doing this without the tutorial. That's right, we boldly go into the next stage of humanity. Sans tutorial. First of all, we are gonna get, how do I start this again? We're gonna get a gathering camp up and running. We want some mushrooms. This is a nice spawn. This is a very good spawn. So we're gonna place him here. We do have meat in range as well. Once we unlock that research, we'll be able to go out and hunt some deers. We're also gonna get our, oh, this spawn is too kind to me. Oh my gosh, okay, alright. I'm now realizing that I think this is the same spawn every time, but that's okay, that's alright. It's still tasty, I still appreciate it. So let's get them out there. Immediately up the top here we have a very familiar looking UI. I would cross this between Frostpunk and Endzone. And the music? I'm going to pop a link to the composer's YouTube channel down in the description below. Do make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. He is incredibly talented, and this game just showcases that in every aspect. Right, we are going to get some roads happening. We do need to connect our buildings to a road network. It is reliant on lumber, I did just remember. So we're going to jump into our lumber mill. Right off the bat, I'm going to start an internal timer on how long it's going to take my lumber mill to burn down. They are very prone to fire, just be aware. However, the fire doesn't spread, so we'll be okay. Our field camp is now ready for action. Now ready for people. We're going to chuck some woodcutters in there. I found this UI incredibly easy to learn and use. So we just assign some workers. They immediately start producing resources, which we can see popping up over the building there. Same for our lumber mill. We're going to choose lumber as our recipe. That is reliant on wood. We should have some wood coming in and some wood going out. There we go. This is good. Good stuff. I love visual graphs instead of numbers. My brain doesn't work with numbers. Visual graphs, sure, we can work with that. That is absolutely fine. We should have our camp up and running. Let's get some food coming in. The next thing we want to focus on is water. So we want to make sure that we've got these droplets in range. Now, because we are playing on the Meadows map, sometimes this water refills after every spring. It will replenish the entire map. Sometimes it doesn't. Always be on the lookout for your water supply. I highly recommend making sure that it stays filled up. Sorry, I love that road animation. And I'm going to show you something real funky, which the devs taught me in chat the other night. At the moment, we have our grid on. Fantastic. Which means that I am forced to build in straight lines. And I'm sure you all know on this channel how I feel about that. So I'm going to turn off the grid. I did just hear a number of you collectively groan. And we're going to shift left mouse button. Gorgeous. Look at that. Ah, just beautiful. Thank you to the devs for showing me how to turn off the build grid the other night. I do appreciate it. From here, I think it's time to start researching. So we are going to jump into construction. We're going to go for basic construction, which is going to allow us to build the stockpile to expand how much storage we have, the soup kitchen, and simple meal that the soup kitchen creates. What I love about this tech tree up here is that we have adaptation and sustainability, construction of materials, community, and diplomacy. The red buttons mean that something is available for you to research, but you don't currently have the materials to be able to do it, or prerequisites for it. Blue means, yep, you've got everything good to go, something's available to research in this window. Alright, I'm going to start building some roads out. I'm going to snap back to grid again, don't you stress, because I like to start expanding our community and where we can build. If I can have some stones, please. And there's our soup kitchen. Let's get that happening. Let's start feeding them other things rather than just raw mushrooms off the ground. We are going to do a simple meal of mushrooms and water, which I guess is it's not like a mushroom stew. Everything's going well. We probably do need another gather camp at some point. The stone is a little bit slow coming in, but that's alright. And we're going to do simple meal with mushroom and water. And we're going to assign 3 people to it. Now, let's make sure that they're getting enough food. So this is our population management page, which is located up here in this little bit. And the tech tree is this little book just here. Or you've got them down the side here as well. So they're on low distribution of food at the moment. Let's see if we can increase that. So let's click on the simple meal production. We are not producing any simple meals at the moment, apparently. Let's give it a little bit more time to gather some data for us. Fantastic. What can we look at researching to keep moving our community forward? We're going to research oath. We cannot achieve the level of civilization we've once had by only developing materially. The real backbone of the constructions and social institutions we established is the values that define and distinguish us. For us, oath is not only a legal boundary, but also a lifelong desire. And this is where I'd like to draw my comparison to Frostpunk, if that's okay. I spoke a little bit in my Frostpunk review. I'll pop a little note up in the top right if you'd like to go and watch that, about the importance of city builders, especially post-apocalyptic city builders, that bring forth this message of what makes humanity, of what makes humans special. It is the first time I really got to talk about theming in city builders, and I really, really appreciated it. And I really hope that in the later release of New Cycle, we do get a little bit more world development, a little bit lore, character development, and I know that we can add laws and stuff as well. So let's go ahead and name our camp as per tradition. There we go. We have no laws and rules available to us yet, and all of our advisors are locked. But it's all looking good. We need 15 more people to get to Era 2, as well as a bit more research. And then, this is what we can unlock in the later eras. So currently the demo only goes to the end of Era 2, which I'm very excited about. I'm so keen to get into these later eras. I cannot express how much I've played this game already and how much I want to continue so desperately, because I can see the features there and it's just teasing me. So let's get them in some houses, which I'm going to... because I know we're going to get a tavern later, so I want to build them around... I'm immediately annoyed at my own road. I'm going to build them around an area where we can have a tavern nearby, but I can never remember how many grid patterns the tavern takes up. So we're going to chuck them along there for now. I would say this is very much like Endzone is what jumps to mind at the moment. When we are given tasks, we are given missions that reward us with morale and good buffs. So we're going to build 3 shacks. And I'm going to be rewarded for it because I'm already building those shacks and I feel very proud of myself right now. Everyone's building, everyone's building. Oh, 3 new shacks. It didn't count these ones. Excuse me, you don't need any more. Ah, nuts. Okay, the game outwitted me. All right, that's fair. That's fair. I was too quick. Chat. So we failed our objective, but that's okay because I'd already built the shacks before it gave us the objective. And we are going to accept this flock of refugees because we want workers. I want workers. I have big plans for this colony. Number 1, we're going to keep making sure that we are researching and staying on top of that. Let's get some metalworking techniques happening. This is going to unlock our forge, smith, iron ingots, and basic tools. Let's have a sus, and I think we're going to make this out here our industrial district. Let's have a sus. Researching really does not take long in this game, which I do appreciate because it means that I keep my train of thought. Otherwise, I do become quite scatterbrained and can't remember why I've researched something, which does get really annoying. Gets annoying for you lot in chat, gets annoying for me, because that's just the way my brain works, and I dislike it greatly. But otherwise, here we go. Let's get another road out here if we've got some leftover lumber, because I do want to build another lumber mill, because you will always need 2 forges and 2 lumber mills. Just trust me. Just trust me. And 2 smiths, I think, as well as just good practice to have. And we build. Let's make sure that we're producing iron. And now that we've researched this, we unlocked in the field camp the ability to be able to pick up raw iron off the ground, which is fantastic. Straight off the bat, because we have the workforce for it, I am going to get another field camp because there is, an iron deposit out here. And let's chuck them on the road. The road network is dependent in this game. Every building, as far as I know, does need to be connected to the road network. Otherwise, you do suffer from workforce debuffs. And one of my favorite things in this game is seeing all the little produced items come up and over the buildings. I think it's brilliant. Okay, we need stability. What do you need? You want me to stockpile resources? Meet the food and water demands of the whole population for 3 days on regular distribution. We can do this. Let's have a sus back at this simple meal. We're not making many simple meals. I'm not 100% sure why. We've got mushrooms, we've got water. All warehouses are full. That'll be why. So we're going to build our first stockpile. Let's pop that out here. I'm just going to make a space for a road in between. I am pre-planning my roads. Do be proud of me, please. I do really enjoy the way that storage has been done. I think it is really easy to expand upon. We do upgrade on the spot, which is just brilliant as well. And our item limits are really, really handy to increase. Very easy, very accessible. How did I fail? I did forget about my trial. So yeah, you're gonna have a debuff for a little while, but that's okay. I'm building a second forge, which I can't fit because of my wonky road. Oh no, if it's not the consequences of my own actions. Okay, here's an objective we can hopefully do. Okay, we need 50 basic tools, which is already a struggle because we're only producing a little bit because we are struggling with iron right now. So let's get some boys in here. We're doing not so great for stone, so I'm going to increase that as well. We're doing okay for logs, but I've got the workforce, so let's get a stockpile. Let's get a surplus going. Okay, everything's producing a little more now. Let's make sure that we're producing iron. Got our 3 boys. We're now making double the amount of iron. We've got a few things that we could research, but we're going to need 6 iron bars for electricity, which helps. We need 22 tools for hunting, which is also something I really want to do to help us out with food. So let's see. Why are you only producing 1 a day? I don't think this efficiency is great. So let's have a look. Let's chuck them on. Let's chuck them all on regular because I want their morale to come up so that we can have a little bit more efficiency. We're on bad morale at the moment. Not good efficiency. That'd be why. Let's increase our morale. Let's increase our workers' efficiency. Everything should kick in the next day. There is also, I'm going to take this opportunity to show you guys the day and night cycle, which you can turn off and on. And now it is winter, and we hear that beautiful winter soundtrack kick in. Just gorgeous. And we've got our day and night cycle, which I also absolutely adore. It does get a little fast when you play on the fast settings, but if you like to just chill out, it is just incredibly beautiful. And we've successfully completed our objective. Fantastic. We get a happy buff from that. Plus 20 morale to all classes, which should kick us into the next efficiency. We're now at 40 efficiency. Excellent. Now we're producing a little faster. Wonderful. Oh, now we're really happy. Now we're at 65 efficiency because they've got enough food. That's what we love to see, chat. I am going to set this to there. Excellent. So I think we're currently at noon, which is what we want. Now we've got some tools. Let's see what we can research. We can research hunting, which is what we want to do because we want to increase the variety of food, and we also want to be able to switch between food sources between seasons. As you can see, mushrooms do not produce in winter, weirdly enough, but deers do still exist. We can also fish now as well. So I'm going to chuck a gathering camp out here on the coast. We have 3 fishing gather spots. Let's chuck our fishing hut out here. And I'm also going to build a dusty road. And from our gathering posts, if I can find them. I do struggle to find them sometimes. Here we go. We're going to produce some meat and leather, because there are no mushrooms happening at the moment. So let's swap those over. I'm also going to chuck another well out here as well, because we're having more water go out than we're having water come in, and that is not good. That's not good at all. So let's chuck this right here. These roads will serve a purpose later, just because we want to see places for windmills to be placed for electricity. As you can see, power lines are built at the same time as roads, and I have to give props. That is one of the best mechanics I've seen implemented, because one of the things that does my head in other games is managing the power networks or managing networks throughout an already built city. For example, Endzone, you can't actually build on road tiles, I think. I may be incorrect, because now I'm second guessing myself. But just maintaining the power network in Endzone does do my head in a little bit, so I was so thrilled to see that power lines come with your roads. It helps so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And now we have fish incoming as well. I'm going to build us a second soup kitchen right now as well. So we can switch. I'm going to switch you to meat, because we've got meat coming in at the moment. We do not have mushrooms coming in at the moment, so hopefully... Yes, good, good, good. And we are in Era 2. Fantastic. So we're going to be able to build our tavern, our smelter. We're going to move to the next level of construction materials. Very, very exciting stuff. Oh my gosh. Actually, let's research electricity first. Let's research electricity. Because a lot of buildings in Era 2 are dependent on electricity. So let's get it out of the way first. We've got our electricity up here. We're producing 200 kilowatts at the moment. I'm guessing by this little fan here in our main camp. And we can do our advisors now as well. So we don't have farm yet. So I'm not going to bother with our naturalist. I am going to implement our smelter and our foreman. So we've got plus 15 efficiency for all tool production, of which we need, and plus 10 workforce to all gather jobs, which is also exactly what we need. It's just one tile bigger than the houses. Oh boy. Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to chuck it here. We'll find other things to stick in over there. That'll be fine. We'll fill out the grid. It's all good. We have a lot of leather. Let's see if we can research. We do need paper. We do need paper for weaving. So let's research vocational training next. And then we are going to build a second lumber mill to get ready for our paper production, because paper is produced in the lumber mill. And I'm taking bets now on which one's going to catch fire. Okay, good, good, good. We've got a happy little buff up here. Everyone's producing well. We don't have a whole lot of mushrooms, so they should have replenished now because it's the beginning of spring. So let's put our workers back on the mushies. Oh, collect the mushies, to collect the mushies. And let's get paper happening in this mill. And we've got the workforce to be able to create paper. Paper is actually a very valuable resource. Here it is up here. And they're immediately going to ask for a stockpile of about 400. Yep, there we go. I've played this demo a lot. And vocational training has been researched, so we can do our technical boot camp. This is where we can school our villagers to become craftsmen. It is expensive and tricky to do and doesn't have a 100% success rate either. Surveillance. So surveillance, this is a planned feature for now. The Scouts Guild is going to allow us to do some overland exploration, which I'm super excited for. I will research it later because we do need it for other things. Let's go for our structural statics, my apologies, for kiln, pit, clay, and bricks, which we do need for a lot of things. Jump on in there, there we go. And here's our first requirement for utilities. Now, I love how they've done this. So if up in the top left, you will see that we've got our little windmill UI that's popped up, and it's going to show us the level of power we receive from the placement of that windmill. I really want to put it there. Unfortunately, I can't. I've got buildings that exist in the area, so let's see if we can find something similar. There's pretty good. I will build a road out to it just to connect it to the grid. That'll produce quite a bit. And this is what I mean, is having these roads out here was not a bad thing, because if we can tuck one along the road, it's going to produce that amount of power for us. So hopefully those two should produce enough. Every time I start recording, it's like a curse. My water bottle is just empty constantly. We'll get some workers in and ready. I'm going to get them building wire once we've researched insulated furnaces, which we can't do yet. We need mine surveying. So with mine surveying, which is going to research in just a second, we are going to be able to explore this hillock region here. And hopefully we're going to get some underground resources of copper, coal, and iron ore. The surface iron ore does run out. We can see that it has run out. We've not been collecting for a while now, and that is going to be a problemo. As far as I know, it doesn't replenish either. It doesn't make sense for it to replenish. So we are being forced underground to find a very, very critical resource. Right there. Everything is within it as well. Let's build a road out to it. Now, as far as I know, this is pretty power hungry too. So I'm going to jump the gun here a little bit. And we're going to explore out here with our windmills. It's not great. There's too many trees, I think. It's not bad. There's already a road there. There we go. All right, we're going to build a simple mine. I know. Let's get the pickaxes ready. In we go. Build a basic mine. It's on its way. On its way, but I've just got no workers at the moment. I'm not 100% sure how population increase works in this game. There doesn't seem to be a big population management in terms of making sure that people have enough room to have families and expand. So we don't have that element of banished or end zone in here, which is interesting. I see it just passively increase, and then we do get those groups of people trying to join the settlement if we're doing well. So that is something. Now, what we have to do here is we have these 3 sites with an unknown resource. They do cost to discover the area, so let's have a squiz at this mine area and cross our fingers for iron ore. We don't particularly need copper or coal at the moment. We don't need coal, so it's going to cost me even more money to move over here and have a look. Got a little lightning storm going at the moment as well. Just beautiful. Just what does this look like in the... And we're into winter. Let's see what this looks like in the nighttime. Ah, just beautiful. We've got all the lights showing as well. A little bit of power in our houses there, in our little shacks. We are going to be able to upgrade them later into residences. That's okay, you don't need anything yet. We found copper. Dang it. I need iron. I need iron. I also need more workers, please. And iron ore, there it is. Okay, fantastic. We are going to choose iron ore as our production resource. I just have no people available. This well has drained itself dry. We are going to start running into some issues now because water going out is not matching water coming in. First thing I'm going to do is take down their water distribution back down to medium. And then we're also going to start looking at places to build a second well. We've drained from there. We've not drained from here, and we can get 3 in the radius of this well. Let's do it, otherwise we are going to run out of water in the middle of this winter. Now, another thing I want to show you is because we've maxed out meat, we're also not producing leather anymore. If you want to produce more of each, we've also maxed out leather, but that's okay. I'm going to increase the leather storage. You'll notice that it won't move because it is paired with meat. So if we increase the meat storage, both resources now begin to increase, which is what we want. And we've run out of iron. We've run out of iron. I'm going to take my my workers off of iron and I'm going to put them down the mines. We can have quite a few people working in the basic mill, which is what we want. No resources available. Let's take them off. We are still struggling for stone. I'm not taking anyone off of stone collection. I just love the building models. The building models are just gorgeous. And the villagers will only use open spaces to go in and out of their workplace. They don't clip through walls. They don't walk through walls. They will only use doorways and paths. The soundtrack makes me feel things. And I cannot wait for it to release. This is going to become my new writing music. What would you like me to prepare? I think it's going to be 3,000 water and 1,200 simple meal. Let's go. We can do this in the middle of winter. 3,000 water. Cripes. Okay. Alright. Well, this well is now producing. We are now on the up. Hopefully, it's enough. We need 3,000 water. While we're doing this, I'm going to take them down to low rations because I'm just going to be a little sneaky. Low rations, we need to hold on to it, and then you can be cranked up a bit. And we've got refreshments. So this year's rains were enough to renew the existing resources in the lands. We've got mushroom meat and water resources renewed, which means this well is now producing as well. And we're producing even more water. Fantastic. Because we're maxed out at resources. Not a bad way to be. Let's go for the divided layers. This is going to grant us our residence, which I'd like to get going. I am immediately going to see issues and try to outrun them. Let's get some power happening, I think. I'm going to chuck you there as well. Why not? Let's see if there's anything out this way, but I think it's mainly near the coast that way. Yeah, this is a dead area, dead zone. I'm going to pop you just there. It's not a whole lot, but it's better than a kick in the pants. Also, oh, there's so much electricity out here. So much electricity out here, guys. Go harvest it. In our pit, because we're maxed out at clay, I'm going to move them over to collecting sand. Sand is what we need for glass. Glass we make in the forge. The forge? No? The smith? No? There is a place that we make it. In the kiln, in the kiln, in the kiln, in the kiln. Gotcha. Warehouse is full. We're back up to storage. We are going to build an extra stockpile. And the lumber mill is on fire. Yep, there she is. All right. Save the lumber mill. Full response. Decreased efficiency. But let's see if we can save our poor, beautiful lumber mill. We can't. We cannot save the lumber mill. It is going to demolish itself. Stop working in there, friendo. Get out of there. Oh, dear. Now, I'm going to show you something very, very cool. We do have destruction mechanics. Watch it fall apart. Let's speed it up a little bit. Let's watch it fall apart. All the individual elements slowly peeling away from the main building. Cracking and crumbling under the weight of the coal. I adore it. Sorry, I think that is just brilliant. It's little bits like this, chat. It's little elements like this that I really adore. Just shows the extra time taken. Even if my beloved lumber mill has been destroyed. We will rebuild. Okay, the first thing we're going to upgrade is our storage because it is getting a bit out of hand. We've already got 35 wire. Here we go. Let's upgrade the storage. Quite a bit more storage available to us there now. And we are going to start upgrading the residences as well. They don't have any entertainment down here, so I might build them. Yeah, I'm going to build them another tavern. They've earned it. I've not earned it through my very terrible road placement, and I have no one to blame but myself, which I don't like. Tavern out here on the road, and head there after work in the pit. All our resources are just increasing. We've got surplus of everything. We've got stockpiles of everything, which is just great. And we've also got room for extra people when they want to come and move in, because we build extra houses. I'm going to leave it there for today. I'm not going to show you off the whole demo. If you'd like to experience more of New Cycle yourself, you can. There is a link in the description below for you guys to download the demo and check it out yourself. You can also find me on Twitter and Twitch. I stream every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday if you'd like to come and hang out with me, playing these games live on stream. I'm going to leave it there for today. Do make sure to go and support the devs over on Twitter, check out the demo, and do wishlist New Cycle, because I'm very, very excited for this new title coming out later in Q1 2023. Thank you all for hanging out with me today, and as usual, happy creating.